everyone, I'm here today with my May digital book haul. I acquired a ridiculous amount of books in May, but if I don't count the Kindle free ones, this becomes a more manageable number. So this is all the Kindle books that I purchased and all the NetGalley review copies that I downloaded in the month of May. This is not going to count audiobooks, this is not going to count all the free books I downloaded because, as I said, that's an insane amount. So let's get cracking. I didn't buy many books in May because I'm trying to be good, and while I have acquired a lot of books in general, I've found that the more I read, the more I acquire, so this doesn't feel like too ridiculous a number of books at 26. The first book I want to talk to you about today is The Woman Who Went to Bed for a Year by Sue Townsend. This is a book that I'd had my eye on for quite some time at this point. I saw it was finally on offer for 99p, which is why I grabbed it. I don't know whether I've seen some bad reviews on this or some just sort of average reviews on this book. But the main reason I was interested in picking it up is because this is the author who wrote the Adrian Mole series, which is a series I absolutely love. So yeah, I thought I would grab this while it's cheap, and if I don't like it, it's not a major loss. The second book that I picked up, again for 99p in the month of May, was Not Forgetting the Whale by John Ironmonger. This is a book that I saw Aoife review relatively recently, I think, or recommend relatively recently over at Fred Weasley Died Laughing. This is a book about a pandemic, but that it shares a lot of hope. That's all I can remember from what her recommendation said, but I had it on my radar from that moment onwards, so when I saw it for 99p, I was like, I'm gonna get that. The next book I purchased was actually again for 99p, but is a book that I've read before. I'm grabbing this because I want to reread it, and I read it for free last time, so I thought I'd pay for it this time, even if it is only 99p, and this is Heartstopper Volume 1 by Alice Oseman. I've read this before, I loved it. When I saw it pop up for 99p, I was like, yeah, I'd love to give that a reread and actually pay for it this time, so yeah. And then another book I grabbed for 99p is Unravelling Oliver by Liz Nugent. This is an Irish thriller author. I've read one of her previous books, though I can't think for the life of me what that book actually was right now, but I loved it. Her thrillers are really dark, and so I was like, yes, another chance to read another one of her works. And that's it for all the books I purchased last month. So like I said, I was quite well behaved, I feel. So on now to all the free books I got via NetGalley for my Kindle. There's a reasonable amount of these. I can't help myself, it seems. So the first one I got was To Tell You the Truth by Gilly Macmillan. This comes out on the 25th of June and it's a thriller. I don't know anything more than that. The next one I grabbed was 8 Detectives by Alex Pavesi, and this comes out on the 20th of August. Again, another thriller. Then I grabbed Grave Secrets by Alice James, which comes out on the 1st of September. This is categorised as a mystery thriller, sci-fi, fantasy, so this one might have a bit more of a paranormal kind of direction. I haven't got a clue what it's about anymore. I know I was originally interested in all of these, but I try and forget the plots as soon as I've read the description because I don't want to be spoiled, and thriller descriptions often spoil you, so I try and just plank them out of my mind. This is book 1 in the Lavington Windsor mystery series though. Next we have A Shooting at Chateau Rock. This is by Martin Walker. This came out on the 26th of May and is another mystery thriller novel. You can see what I've been in the mood for. Next we have When She Was Good by Michael Robotham. This comes out on the 28th of July. I can't remember what this is about at all. And again, it's another thriller. Next up we have Fair Warning by Michael Connelly. This came out on the 26th of May. And I don't know what this one's about either because it's a mystery thriller. I am just boring at this point. I can't tell you what any of these are about. You just have to watch my wrap-ups. Next we have The Sandpit, and this is coming out on the 23rd of July. This is a mystery thriller but more of a literary fiction style one. So this one will probably be a little bit harder to get through, but I'm kind of dabbling more into literary fiction this year than I probably ever have before, so I'm excited to give this a go. Next we have one that I've definitely seen a few people read and review, but I don't really remember an awful lot. And this is Never Have I Ever by Joshilyn, wow, I'm bad at saying that name, Joshilyn Jackson, tongue twister. This came out on the 14th of May and it's a mystery thriller. Next we have The Vow by Debbie Howells. This comes out on the 15th of October, so ages away yet, which is a shame because I'm really desperate to pick this one up, as I've read at least one, but I think two books by this author now. I've definitely read and reviewed one and I absolutely adored it, The Bones of You. I'll leave that linked in the description and the cards because that book was phenomenal. And since then I've been always keeping an eye out for her books. I've definitely got a couple of others as well and I just haven't read them yet. So yeah, this is one that I'm anticipating quite a lot. And of course it's a thriller. Next we have Don't Turn Around by Jessica Barry. This is coming out on the 30th of July. This very much reminds me, the cover at least, reminds me of a book that Aoife got me last year that I haven't read yet, that's another thriller, which was Girl in the Rearview Mirror. This cover is giving me really big Girl in the Rearview Mirror vibes, and I haven't read that one yet and I haven't read this one yet. Both are thrillers. Be interesting to see how similar they end up being, just because the cover and the vibe I'm getting from them both. Next we have a book that isn't a thriller. What? This is The Sin Eater by Megan Campisi. This is a book that I've seen Emma talk about over on the Book Break channel quite a bit, and so it was one that was on my radar to keep an eye out for, so when I saw it I was like, yes, I'm getting that. This comes out on the 23rd of July and it's a historical fiction novel. And this book is about sin eaters who eat up people's sins from their private confessions during their funeral last rites, and that then enables those people to be able to still go to heaven. This sounds really quite dark. I'm quite interested. Next we have A Double Life. This is by Charlotte Philby and comes out on the 9th of July. It's a thriller, that's all I know. Then we have Taken by Lisa Stone. This comes out on the 23rd of July. There are so many thrillers coming out around the 23rd of July. Can I just say, I'm going to have a busy time reading thrillers. Then we have a book that's not a thriller. And another one, wow. This is In Case You Missed It by Lindsay Kelk. This is a women's fiction novel which is coming out on the 23rd of July. And from what I can gather from the synopsis, this is about someone who moves away and then after 3 years goes back to their childhood home and wants to kind of pick up where they left off. But their friends have moved, parents have rekindled their romance, and a bedroom's now been moved to the garden shed. So yeah. This definitely has more intriguing things behind it and something about messages from her old life, so I'll be interested to give this one a go. Next we have The Silent Wife by Karen Slaughter. This comes out on the 23rd of June. I've still not read a single Karen Slaughter novel. I've added this to my collection totally just on a complete whim. I need to give this a read. I'm not gonna lie, this next book I kind of picked up for the title and the cover alone. This is The Happy Glampers by Daisy Tate. This comes out on the 11th of June, so I'll probably be picking this one up really soon, so keep an eye open for this on one of my reading wrap-ups coming up. But yeah, this looks so much fun. It says in the description, will a year of yurts mend 2 decades of herds? Or are some things like shower blocks, burnt sausages and no Wi-Fi best left in the past? This is going to be great. I just know it's going to be great. Next we have The Cutting Place by Jane Casey. I saw Aoife recently read and review this one over at Fred Weasley Died Laughing, and so I was desperate to get a copy of this myself and was able to also get a review copy. This came out on the 3rd of April, so I need to try and work on my backlog to get to this one ASAP. And I've tried to leave as much of it out of my head as possible, as this is another thriller crime novel. Next we have The Wife Stalker. This is by Liv Constantine. and this came out on the 28th of May. It's a thriller. I know no more. Then we have All Fall Down by MJ Arledge. This is from the Helen Grace thriller series. This comes out on the 11th of June, so it's another one I'll be looking to pick up really soon. Next we have If I Can't Have You by Charlotte Levin. This comes out on the 9th of July. This is another one that I've seen mentioned on Book Break an awful lot by Emma, and possibly on her own channel, Drinking by Myself. I think she might have mentioned this one too. It's one that straight away jumped up and was like, yes, I need to, because she compared it to You by Caroline Kepnes, which is one of my favourite thrillers of all time, and kind of portrayed it as a female version, but in some ways not quite as extreme, but then in other ways really extreme, and said that it would be like on the stalking side of things, you'd follow and at first be like, oh yes, I've done that, yes, I've considered doing that, but then it'll gradually get worse and worse to the point where you're like, what the hell are you doing? So this really piqued my interest. It comes out on the 9th of July and I can't wait to give this one a read. Next we have The Sight of You by Holly Miller. This also comes out on the 11th of June, so it's another one that I'll be reading really soon. This is described as the love story of 2020 that will break your heart. And the final book in this haul is The Resident by David Jackson. This comes out on the 16th of July and it's a thriller novel, so I have no clue at all. No clue. But that cover, especially since it's got such a Ruth Ware cover to it. So yes, I have a lot of reading of thrillers to do in the next month or two. It would seem, as a lot of these are coming out in the next month or so, and most of them, as my lack of descriptions told you, are thrillers, except for the odd exception here or there. So I'm going to start trying to get out of lockdown wanting to look over my shoulder and being worried that I'm about to be killed or see someone else be killed, because I'm just going to be so thriller orientated with how many books I'm reading right now as well. It's probably not going to be good for me, but yeah, I'm really excited for pretty much all of these and I can't wait to dive into them. If you've read any of these already and there's certain ones that you think are better than others that are on popular dates where I've got a lot to read for at once, let me know so I can give them some sort of priority order. But let me know if you're planning on picking any of these up as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe by clicking the image of me if you want to see more book reviews and other bookish content from me, and I will see you soon. Bye bye!